and welcome to episode 790 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, October 11th, 2021. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. We got Mark, Pat, and I'm Will. Wes is filming. He is sweating behind a camera somewhere.
He doesn't even film them anymore. He just photographs weddings.
Oh, he's photographing.
He had three this weekend.
Much lighter on his hands. That's nice. Yeah. Easier on his knees, hopefully.
A lot of people don't know this. A lot of people
lower stress on him.
I think correctly think that you would make more money as a wedding videographer because it's a more complex job. But no, not at all.
Really?
No, photographs. There's more of them, right? Like, yeah, they got it. It's definitely a tougher gig.
A lot of them, lighter camera for Wes.
He sent us the one bride and groom who said, "Check these guys out. They're pretty fun." They threw on Vipers right after they got
Pit
married.
Vipers.
Pit Vipers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was the
full
wedding
turbo
sponsored by Pit Viper?
I don't think that was a dry wedding.
Nice.
No,
sir.
Funnels.
No, sir.
Pit Viper didn't sponsor them. Those were their own PVs.
Yeah.
Brought their own, sort of like Freedom Funnels.
There'd been some shoeys going on. Freedom Funnels, shoeys, the whole nine.
They refused to make a Hard Factor Freedom Funnel. Yet I've still filmed many Freedom Funnels.
Won't stop us from making our own, Will.
Yeah, apparently. All right, today we're talking about a very historical cup of coffee in the big time. What else, fellas? What else we got?
Oh man, well if you're a scammer and you are looking for a scam to do, you might want to stick to the end of the show.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, I've got 4 TikTok international moments today. I've got a bonus dog TikTok.
Nice.
3 plus 3. And I would just say after you hear my stories, you might want to look up every now and then. Keep stuff falls from the sky.
I'm always looking up to you guys.
Look up.
Oh wow.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Got some UFOs, maybe.
Maybe.
I hope so.
And chicken. We're talking about chicken. Nice. Fast food chicken. So.
Oh yes.
You're gonna make me hungry.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're stacked. We're stacked. We got a shitload in the cup of coffee. So let's do the news. Cup of coffee, the big time, is up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Holidays, history, and trending news. But first, a fun fact. Boxing was first introduced to the Olympics in 688 BC. So that's a long time of boxing. The ancient Greek god Apollo was like the patron saint or god of boxing back in the Greek days.
It was called fighting. It was just called fighting back then.
Yeah, pugilism, I think,
right.
is the technical term.
Yeah.
Pugilism, which means fighting with your hands.
Apollo was the god of pugilists?
Yeah, apparently.
Pugilism?
They're pretty loose with what they apply their goddom to in terms of today people are always like Apollo he's the god of this and that. Everyone's claiming all sorts of gods for all sorts of stuff.
he's the god of everything. If it happened on Under the Sun, Apollo
he's the god of music and pugilism. Okay. See, I would think Ares would probably be the Greek god of fighting, but okay.
That makes more sense, actually. But Apollo, apparently. Right. October 11th is the Apollo of holidays because it's got way too many. Check it out. It's Columbus Day. Also Indigenous Peoples Day, as you know. Right. You guys going to pick a side, or are you just going to do both?
I'm 100% Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't even know who the fuck Columbus is. I'm a nationalist.
What?
I'm a
Columbus?
Nationalist. I'm talking about I'm a nationalist, okay?
Well, you got a couple Italians on the show, so I can't say Columbus Day is no more.
He's a Spaniard, right, or an Italian? He's
Italian.
Yeah, but he's hired by Spain, right?
Christopher Columbus.
I talked to my parents, and we brought up this weekend was when I used to always go play soccer at Virginia Beach in a tournament, the Columbus Day tournament, and I brought that up, and then my mom said, it's Indigenous Peoples Day in front of my 100% Italian dad who didn't say anything, and I was like, okay. I was about to say Columbus Day, and I was like, all right, you're right. So I guess
let's not pretend like people are getting
I don't
hurt.
care about Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, I don't really fuck.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Some Italian groups have been very upset about
right.
the attempts to cancel this day. So
I'm gonna say whichever one I feel like. How about that?
I think what's happened here is that after Indigenous Peoples Day took over Columbus Day because they're saying that Columbus Day is insensitive, now there's just a cavalcade of other holidays who also want to get in. Check it out. It's also General Pulaski Day. It's also International Day of the Girl Child, Kimberly Day, Myths and Legends Day for all fantasy movie, books, and legends, cephalopods, National Coming Out Day, National Food Truck Day, National It's My Party Day, National Kick Butt Day, National Online Banking Day, National Sausage Pizza Day, Native Americans Day, only in South Dakota, Southern Food Heritage Day, World Obesity Day, and You Go Girl Day. So,
World Obesity Day and You Go Girl Day together.
and Southern Food Heritage Day. The last three are fucked up.
Coincidence?
Combo.
I don't
about
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
And Pat's gonna wrap the show up with the chicken story.
I
Hey,
don't know
It's a
if
wild day for
I don't know if I
holidays.
should, Sally. I don't
You
know if
go,
I
girl.
should. Oh, okay.
diet starts tomorrow.
I'm gonna have thirds.
I'm gonna have my Southern Food Heritage Day, and yeah, exactly. And then I'll combat my World Obesity
Bro,
Day tomorrow.
It's
right?
it's just gotta be Indigenous Peoples Day though. Long story short, we those people got fucked so hard. Who gives a fuck about Columbus?
Yeah, give him the day.
Give him the day, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
Trail
really,
of
no,
Tears.
Pat. It's all those days. If you
Yeah.
you just missed that, it's
That's
so
too
many
many.
days.
Yeah, it gets
besides
lost.
Indigenous
Gets
Peoples
lost
Day.
in translation.
There's
so
always a
many
day,
days.
and then there's other days. You know,
Are
like,
kids off of school today? Is this a
Yeah,
holiday where kids
Columbus
are off of
Day.
school? Yeah,
Columbus Day, right?
I mean,
right.
is
But
the
are they
official
changing it to
holiday.
Indigenous people?
No, Columbus
Okay.
Day.
Okay, yeah.
That's
So there
the
you go.
holiday.
They both exist.
Yeah,
And
they
all
do.
the other ones
No,
too.
they all
Yeah.
exist. It's crazy. Okay, today in history, October 11th, also a crazy day in history. 1939, Albert Einstein informs FDR of possibilities of an atomic bomb. Imagine that fucking guy walking into your office telling you about an atomic bomb.
You better
His hair-
listen.
His hair's just like
Yeah.
so frazzled. He's like, "There's a bomb! I swear, it'll kill everybody!" Like
That's like the scene from Independence Day with
Yeah, with the
Goldblum.
doctor.
Yeah, with the doctor and then Bill Pullman or one of the Bills. He's the president. He's like, what is he talking about? Yeah,
there's no what would the equivalent today be, right? Because like technology is exponential, right? It grows exponentially. So Einstein walking into
No, it would
FDR's
be
office and being
still
like,
an atomic type bomb, or the
we-
virus, like a virus.
A
I mean, no, it's
virus.
something you couldn't even fucking imagine, bro.
Well, no, it is. No, it would be the equivalent of Elon Musk going into the president's office today and telling him that AI was about to kill us all like within a year. Like,
Right,
you know, like that's the equivalent today.
right, or
Like
like
AI's, it's an imminent AI takeover.
or like you don't have a dick, and then the president looks down and his dick's just gone. Similar. it was just think about how mind blowing
That's shocking,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that
President's
shocking.
dick isn't disappearing.
He looks down and there's
Yeah.
just no dick. He's like a Ken down there.
Yeah,
Got
He's
bad
like,
news,
"Wow,
America."
How did he know? Yeah.
That's the
We better,
equivalent.
we better listen to what this guy has to say. He called it. I have no dick.
It's kind of like if Einstein had walked in seriously and was like, "You can walk," and then FDR just started strutting around the room. That's the equivalent of him being like, "I got a
Yeah.
bomb, bro."
Atomic bomb is like mind blowing, especially up till the time and still since nothing.
Something
similar
with
has
aliens. If you
happened.
could predict like the second aliens came,
aliens,
Yeah.
or
Well,
it's just
to like
AI
to a
or
science,
aliens,
yeah.
There's no reference for it. Like
Apocalypse.
no man's brain is ready to hear what that crazy fucking Einstein character is saying.
right.
was right.
I solved this
He
math
was right.
problem, and apparently a bunch of 12-foot tall lizard people
Yeah.
are coming
And
next
the
month.
Japanese are not going to like it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, no.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah. He said that it was a threat from the Nazis to us, but turns out, well, you know, we all know how that went. 1945 on October 11th, the Chinese Civil War began between the Kuomintang government led by Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong's Communist Party. We obviously know how that went. Communist Party.
They were just doing their own thing, huh? They were just doing their own thing during the World Wars.
I guess the CCP was getting ready to just crush the Kuomintang. I don't know what they are, but yeah, the CCP is all that existed after that Civil War. So,
Whoa.
we all know how it went. In 1975, SNL debuted for the first time ever on October 11th. Huge day, huge show. In
Big
1976,
cast. George Carlin, first host.
that's right. George Carlin, first host. In 1976, Mao Zedong, very comfortably in charge in China, October 11th, had his widow, Jian Qing, and the Gang of Four assassinated, charged with planning a coup. So
Man,
assassinated his ex-wife.
He loved October.
Yeah, Mao Zedong having a field day on October 11th.
It's like some out of that's pretty Western concept, murdering
It's like
your
Jesse
wife.
Jackson. He's the real Mr. October. Or what's it? Reggie Jackson.
Reggie
Sorry, the baseball player.
Jackson. Yeah.
Jesse Jackson, different guy.
Different guy.
Mal being the real Mr. October is so great. We should put him like on a baseball card.
Yeah.
For Reggie Jackson's face.
I swear she was plotting to kill me, guys. You don't want that, right?
Let's kill her whole family while we're at it. I mean,
You don't want me to get a divorce, do you?
Well, it's good to be the chairman. That's the lesson there. He
Right.
had to fight a civil war to get it, but it was great once he got it. Okay. In 1986, October 11th, Reagan and Gorbachev met in Reykjavik, I think, Iceland. The summit, huge summit. That was basically like start of the end of the Cold War. Huge historical moment in 1986, October 11th. And then in 1992, October 11th, it was the first three-way presidential debate between Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, and Ross Perot. Shout out Ross Perot. R.I.P. R.I.P. to
Perot.
all those guys but Clinton. So
yeah.
Ross Perot's a fucking man, bro. Had I known, they just lampooned his ass when we were kids.
It's because of his voice and his ears. It was hard not to.
But
Yeah.
he's
His
like
damn
your-
ears.
He was the most sound candidate.
he's like your
but
boy
ears,
Andrew
Pat.
Yang. You know, he's
Yeah.
trying to forge a path in the third party.
You can't have a president. You know who he looks like is that the guy who was the Red Zone guys and Andrew Siciliano or whatever, the guy with
Yes.
the huge ears. You
Mhm.
can't take a guy with that size ears seriously.
No,
What if he
lost
made
bat
a
ears. Yeah.
Yeah,
$1 billion?
The ratio of ears to head isn't going to work as a public figure.
He was
Yes,
the first
no.
tech billionaire, man.
No,
Right.
look, shout
He was
out Ross
before his
Perot,
time.
R.I.P. Ross Perot. It's just
Before his
you
time.
can't. He has to be like a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain with those ears.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
Be
though.
in front of the curtain.
He ran up against a brick
Buzzsaw.
wall, really.
Buzzsaw,
I mean,
yeah.
Bill Clinton and George H.W. Bush. He's not
Yeah.
beating either of those guys head to head.
Titans
So
of
good
industry.
luck.
Yeah.
good luck beating.
That's like going up against two Mao Zedongs in October. Not gonna happen.
No, it's bad.
Yeah.
Bad for the Kuomintang. And Ross Perot. All right, let's move on to the trending news. Honorable mention today. Wow, speaking of China again, Taiwan, the tiny island nation right next to China. Taiwan National Day was on Sunday, following a long week of Chinese military intrusions into Taiwanese airspace, like we've been talking about on the show. And in response, President Tsai Ing-wen said that Taiwan would not act rashly, but there should be absolutely no illusions that the Taiwanese people will bow to pressure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he'll be sighing soon, is my guess, because it's just not gonna work out.
Might get his head cut off with the sigh.
Maybe so. She went on to affirm that the 23 million Taiwanese residents are autonomous from the CCP and intend to stay that way. Another fun fact for you fellas, Taiwan has 14 Costcos, more than all of Australia.
Whoa.
So that's why I'm rocking the Kirkland signature. They also have no extradition. All those Costcos, no extradition. Good facts.
Are we
to know about
positive
Taiwan.
on no extradition there? Wow,
100%.
okay.
That's awesome.
So what's going on there? I mean, is it like Xi's cousin or something? Because that's like the
No,
only.
it's like right off the coast of China.
No, I know,
and-
but
China wants it, right? Like a
Yeah.
hot
Want
continent. China
Well,
wants
It's like
it.
it would be, Pat. You know, it's what it's like. You know how this is a democratic nation, right in China's backyard. It's
Right.
exactly how Cuba is a communist nation, right in our backyard.
Right.
And it would be like us saying that we're gonna make Cuba be democratic like us.
we
Yeah,
instead iced
China-
Cuba out just for the last 50 years.
Right.
Just-
So that's
Right.
what the CCP should
China-
do instead
China's
of attack them. But we'll
always
see how it
wanted
goes.
Taiwan. You know, this is 100% because it was Taiwan Day too. That's why they've been buzzing their tower. They wanted to ruin their Taiwan.
Oh, they're trying to
Day.
fuck with Taiwan.
They're trying
week.
to,
Yeah, exactly.
they're trying to fuck with them on their big like day, which is fucked up. So we
They
did
can't.
post.
They can't handle the Costco.
We posted a Taiwan story you did last week, Will, mentioning this when they first buzzed the tower on TikTok, and it got like not only a ton of views, but proportionally it got more comments than I've ever seen. It got the people going, and a lot of people are saying that Taiwan is hard to breach because it's like a city by the sea, and they've been preparing for 70 years, and it's like impenetrable, basically. So I guess,
And they got friends with big militaries.
yeah, I guess
so.
they're saying it's not easy to take over Taiwan. A lot of people are saying, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think
Taiwan
they're
says
going to
not
drop.
having it.
I don't think they're going to drop off like 1 million Chinese at the sea. I think it would be like a bombing more, but
Right.
whatever.
And Taiwan says, like, basically, we're not going to attack you, but we are going to definitely defend ourselves and call our friends to help.
Taiwan's got a lot of swagger. It seems like, yeah, good for them.
Pretty
Good for them.
Tsai Ing-wen.
Yeah, that's her name.
Soon, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
We'll
soon.
see. We'll
Yeah.
see. The one guy who definitely does not want that to happen on his watch is Joe Biden. So we'll see how that all plays out. Number 3 in the cup of coffee today is football. It would be. I mean, because it probably was number 1 technically with all the Google searches. But
For sure.
It's number 3. In the international variety of football, France won the UEFA Nations League on Sunday with Italy taking 3rd place. So that was a cool tournament. Cool. It goes on every year.
It ended up being a lot better probably than people expected.
Yeah, way better, right?
And the 4 best teams got to the finals and performed well in the semis and the finals. Yeah.
Another 3 goals in the championship game, and in the 3rd place game, I believe.
Yeah, 2-1, 2-1.
Yeah, perfect. That's what you want. And in college football, Texas and Oklahoma and Ole Miss, Arkansas lived up to the hype, like over 100 points, I think, in both games or close to it.
Close to 100 in Texas, Oklahoma, over 100 in Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Arkansas.
incredible offensive displays there. Iowa stayed perfect in a close one with Penn State, and most notably, number 1, Alabama got beat by Texas A&M in a very sloppy performance by Alabama on Saturday night.
Yikes.
Passing to the tight end and the running back is their kryptonite, apparently, because A&M did it to them all night long, and it worked to perfection. Georgia is now the undisputed number 1, followed by Iowa, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma in college football. So kind of a surprising year, honestly.
Yeah, no one ever thought the Aggies to come into the SEC and beat Alabama ever.
They
Well,
always play them tough. They always play them tough for some reason.
Yeah, they do.
Alabama
Actually,
has fits with A&M every year.
They do. Because Manziel was
Yeah.
the guy who used to do this to Alabama.
Yes.
And then now, what's the new guy's name?
No clue. Didn't watch the game.
Calzone?
But I just know A&M every year gives them fits. It's
Calzada.
always a close game. Yeah.
They're a proud team.
Yeah.
Bad day for Texas because Texas lost when they were up by like 1 million points to their rival OU, and then A&M beat Bama. Bad day for Longhorn fans.
Really bad day for the Longhorns. Yeah. And for Tuscaloosa. We'll get to more of that in number 1. Good for the Aggies, though. In the NFL, fellas, I don't think we hit the 16 parlay. Did we? But
We
close,
got fucking
right?
close though.
Dude, we were looking really good. The Eagles fucked it up.
The
They
Eagles,
had a good game,
the Eagles, and the Broncos were the only 2 we lost up until the afternoon games, and then I think we did well. I think we went. We're gonna go 13 for 16 this week.
Damn,
So,
and the Steelers really stepped up and
Yeah.
surprised everybody.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
wow.
realizing here's the hack.
Bridgewater
And,
even played.
and if you're like, what are you guys talking about? Well, remember we did that story a while back about that guy who was going into the Monday night game and he was going to win around $700,000 if he hit it because it was a 16 leg parlay. So we started doing that within the Patreon, setting the card tier in the gambling corner, 16 team parlays
Every week.
Whoever
in the
wants in,
Discord.
it's $4
Yeah.
buy-in. You pop in. If you want in on that, you can go to patreon.com/hardfactor. You can send in the car, join up on the Discord, and come on in. The water's warm. But the thing is, guys, I'm realizing we're going to have to – what do you guys think about the idea of picking one nutty game? Because I feel like if you went through and you were just like, okay, my instincts tell me this team, you try to pick the right ones for all your picks, right? But what if you just do a flyer
I always
pick?
try to. You're saying like make somebody pick
One of
upset,
our
like,
picks has to be a flyer pick.
I think
That's
that
what I'm
you-
saying. One game has to
you
be
need to put on the form
a major
that you have
dog.
to pick an upset.
So Pat, I think what you have to do is like you've been doing it, and you release the picks, and then you say, okay, now you have to go in. These are the picks, but now everyone has to go in and vote on one upset, and whichever upset gets the most, we flip that pick. We flip that one pick to an upset.
Because that's right. Because you get
There
so
it is.
close every week.
Yes, you got to flip
have
one
those
pick.
couple games
Now,
that you don't
for
flip.
$4 this week, our second week of doing it. I know it's not the second week of the NFL, but it's our second week of doing this. We're going to do it the rest of the year. For $4, you would have won $59,000, and we were 13 for 16.
If it hit.
Not bad.
13 for 16.
It's pretty good.
We're
Each
getting
person,
close.
each person almost got 59 grand.
We're pretty hot. I'd say actually overall, obviously overall, in
Yeah.
the Discord, the NFL picks have been the highest percentage for sure.
Agreed. It's got. I mean, second week, and we almost were going into the Sunday afternoon games 10-0. So
And
that's
when
going to happen. That's
when
going to
the
feel
cash
good.
out option
Yeah.
comes into play.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see the cash outs. We need to get it to a Monday night game so bad.
Oh my God, it'll be wild.
Yeah. Okay. So get in there, patreon.com/hard factor, like Pat was saying, if you want to get in on that weekly parlay. More importantly, in the NFL, I saw Cops was coming back and all the NFL commercials. I was super pumped about that. And then I looked it up and saw that it's only on Fox Nation streaming service, which I have no idea.
No one has that. No one has that.
Put it on FX, huh? Yeah. Like, what the hell?
So
Fox Nation streaming service.
Cops should not come back, unfortunately, because they did a ton of studies into it. It's problematic as fuck. But people are trying to figure out.
Great show, though.
It was
Such
a great
fun
show, but
FX,
it has effects that aren't worth it in our society. But they're trying to fill A&E is trying to fill the whole Left by Live PD, and I found it in my hotel room on Saturday night, and it is court like crazy court fights. And it's the dude from Live PD being like, number 7. And then it's just like dudes getting sentenced to life in prison and then fighting people in the courtroom. It's the saddest show of all time.
Okay,
how do I get my hands on that?
Regular Cops on FX, please. Just old school Cops FX.
Well, I'd say do them all. Do them all.
Don't mess with.
Speaking of the NFL, Cardinals 5-0, baby.
Yeah, Cardinals are looking good. Looking real good. They struggled against the 49ers, but still look good.
Yeah, 49ers are a good team, and they handled
their defense
the Rams.
is so much better than I give them credit for every week.
Cardinals looking good. Would be a real shame if they won the Super Bowl and I won 5 figures. Would be a real shame.
Hope so. Hope that hits. Hope that Cardinals future hits. Number 2, moving on from the footy, Civil War, boys. The Civil War is trending again on Twitter, and here's the trend. It's like 52,000 people tweeting about Civil War because of a lady in Des Moines who said it. It reminds me of when the old WW3 trend was going on back in 2019. People thought the U.S. and Iran were about to start World War III. Anyhow, this time it's Civil War. It's serious. Madison Cawthorn made it trend a few weeks ago. It's back again this time. It was this clip, this salacious clip from a Trump rally in Iowa that got the whole thing stirring on social media. Here it is.
We're just sick of it, and we're not gonna take it anymore. I see a civil war coming. I do. I see civil war coming.
My God.
Sick. Fucking sick lady.
So that is Lori Levi, a Michigan woman. And somebody got that video over the weekend while she was at the Trump rally. And then everybody was tweeting about Civil War because it was so necessary to tweet about Civil War.
What an idiot.
I'll tell you what.
Obviously, Lori has her finger on the pulse, but
they're laughing their ass off. The Russians are laughing their ass off in Russia.
I'll tell you what Lori doesn't see is a hairdresser that recommends voluminous shampoo.
No, yeah, she's more concerned about conspiracy theories than she is about her conditioning. I think. Yeah.
I think as America,
she doesn't want that fluff. If it gets Pat, but if it gets humid during the Civil War, she doesn't want her hair being all fucked up. She's got to have it thin and tight.
That's true. Especially when her man
humidity can
home.
really crush you when your hair is voluminous. Yeah.
Fighting his brother, cousin. I feel like America's moved on from the Lories. I mean, like everyone got pissed at the Lories and was like, "Can you believe the Lories?" And like the Lories are crazy. But I feel like slowly but surely we're just leaving. The train's leaving the station on the Lories, and they're just going to be a crazy sideshow.
Well, I mean, is that really like a fun topic? That like if you have a dinner party with Lori, you have to hear about her entire plan for the Civil War, when it's going to happen, who's going to be involved, how it's going to, the outcome of it.
A better question is, why would it trend? Lori Levi has no idea what's happening. A civil war is not going to happen.
No.
There's not enough people in this country that care about both parties enough to fight their fucking friends and family, bullet fight their friends and family. It's not going to happen. So why would it trend? I have no idea. My money's certainly on no civil war anytime soon.
I think it's probably because of some trolls.
It's the hype machine.
Yeah, just the fact that it's an interesting topic.
I think Tim Dillon has a good point here. Taking it to the internet, he tweets, "Civil War is trending on Twitter. People outside, quote, great weather today. Did you see the fight? Is that restaurant good?" Unquote. So I think
get
it's
off
just
Twitter.
Fucking Twitter.
Yeah, get off Twitter. Yeah.
That's where the Civil War is trending. And only Twitter. So, like Dave Chappelle said, Twitter's not fucking.
Yeah,
a
it's
real
fall
place,
for
so
fuck's sake. It's the scents, the seasons. Like,
calm down, everybody.
What
yeah.
side do you think Lori's going to be on?
I mean, it's pretty clear. She's
I
on.
don't know.
She's on Trump's side.
I don't
That's
know.
the Civil War is coming. That's the side she's on. But let's move it on since Twitter's not a real place and it's not going to happen. Number one, the cream of the crop today.
The cream of the crop!
Tim Dillon was right. Everybody was talking about Wilder Fury 3. According to Google, it's about half the amount of people who are interested in their EU lawsuit appeal a few weeks ago.
That's right.
5 million plus searches.
Almost got to half of the Google searches about Google. Yeah.
Right. Almost did it,
Yeah.
Tyson. Just 5 million plus searches for the greatest heavyweight in a long time. Tyson Fury defended his heavyweight belt again on Saturday, knocking out Deontay Wilder of Tuscaloosa, Alabama in the 11th round.
Oh, that's
Bad
what you were
weekend
referencing.
for
Oh,
Alabama.
no.
Yeah. Fury dominated the fight outside the fourth round when Wilder knocked him down twice. Fury also claimed that Wilder refused to shake his hand after the fight in the post-fight interview. Just utter domination by the Gypsy King. So I'm guessing he probably needs to fight Alexander Usyk now to unify all the heavyweight belts.
They should fight each other again.
No, they're
Wilder?
done.
You want Wilder
No.
4?
Bro,
I don't think so because he's
One
he's-
was no decision and 2
so
was
Wilder
Fury.
Wilder hasn't even won one. He's
Right.
he's tied one and lost 2. I don't think you can't run that back.
I'm a casual boxing fan, and like whenever my boxing friends are like, "Hey, we got to watch this fight," I always watch the fight, and like every fucking time it's Fury Wilder, like every time.
Right.
Well, it's
so,
been the best trilogy of the last several years.
So
yeah.
Joshua is enacting his rematch clause against Usyk or whatever the guy's
Usyk
name
will
is.
pummel him
So-
again.
Well, if Joshua were to win, that makes a lot of sense to have the two Brits fight, but it's probably going to be Fury taking some time off and then waiting for Usyk. I would
And then
imagine.
getting Usyk after
the winner
he
of
beats
Joshua
Joshua
Usyk.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Usyk,
apparently
I'm
he-
sick of watching these guys fight.
beat him.
Come on,
Right.
let's get some new blood in there.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Because it'll probably be Fury, Usyk, but after a while, they're both kind of
Are-
older guys too. So
Are
they need to
both
rest
the
up.
Klitschko's retired? Is Vladimir Klitschko retired? What
I
happened
think
with
so.
him?
I mean, it's just Fury now in the heavyweight division. it's
Klitschko is
just
better
Fury.
than Fury. He's like everyone's
What?
like, oh, he's
no, Lennox
yeah.
Lewis, I think, is maybe the last
Well,
guy.
Lennox
that
Lewis
Fury
and
is as
and
good as.
Vladimir Klitschko were
Yeah,
both better.
Klitschko had some weak opponents. I feel like
Everyone's
Right
in the
it
now,
seems like
man. Klitschko went like one.
He
had
was.
so many
He's
defenses.
underrated. He's underrated. Also, Tyson Fury's younger brother Tommy Fury is supposed to fight Jake Paul soon. In another like mega boxing match. That'll be cool. That'll be a good one because that'll give Jake Paul like a real opponent for the first time.
You know if that's a
Tyson
full
Fury's-
brother?
I don't know if it's a no. It doesn't look like it, does it?
It is. It
Could
is
be
his
a half
brother.
brother. I
think,
don't
though.
know.
Yeah, it's definitely his
Um,
brother. I don't know if it's a full.
His
it's
brother's
definitely
22 years old and looks a lot darker complexion than his older
Yeah,
brother
that's
Tyson.
a half brother. We got to
He
figure
looks a
out
little
that's-
less gypsy.
that's a mom side or a dad side situation.
It's the not gypsy side.
But yeah,
Could
so,
be
I mean,
full. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tyson's getting a huge fight. Tommy's getting a huge fight. I've been doing some fitness boxing classes on the Nintendo Switch over the weekend. Just huge boxing energy right now. Boxing's having a great
Wow.
run. And that's today's
Civil
cup of coffee
War.
in the big time. A lot more fun than a fucking Civil War, that's for sure. And taking it to the internet one more time before we talk about today's sponsor for the cup of coffee in the big time. I want to take it to Tyson Fury's pinned tweet. He tweets, "Never judge somebody by their exterior look. I looked on top of the world, but inside was dying. Hashtag mental health. Hashtag just ask." And that's right. Even the best heavyweight champ of an entire generation or two, in my opinion, can struggle with their mental health. As Tyson Fury clearly knows, mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's a sign of strength to seek help to get yours where you need it to be. It's not a weakness to seek help for your mental health. It's very important. That's where Talkspace comes in. Access your therapist right on your phone or other device, anywhere, anytime. Whether you're an athlete, a rec league player, or just someone having a hard day, Talkspace is ready to help you start feeling better with a single message. Set your goals with your Talkspace therapist and help ensure your progression. Develop tools and techniques to help build your resilience so you can cope in difficult times. Talkspace offers individual therapy as well as couples therapy and medication prescription services. If you feel like your mental health has been stuck on the sidelines, Talkspace is here to help. Match with a licensed therapist when you go to Talkspace.com and get $100 off your first month with the promo code HARDFACTOR, all one word. That's $100 off when you use the code HARDFACTOR at Talkspace.com.
There you go.
That's a half brother.
Nice.
The baddest man on the planet talking about mental health, and I think he won the belts on Mental Health Day as well. So that was big. Yeah.
Yeah, he did, right? It was over the weekend. So yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
There you go. It's important. All right. One more important thing for you guys before we get into the next segment. Are your credit card bills keeping you up at night like mine are? Interest rates in the double digits probably? Yeah. Well, be smart and pay off your credit card balances with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Rates start at 4.98% APR with auto pay and excellent credit. You have to pay down, take care of your mental health and take care of your debt. Those two things, probably the two best pieces of advice we can give you. Yeah. Plus the rate is fixed, so it will never go up over the life of the loan. This for Lightstream, the rate is fixed. You can get a loan from $5,000 to $100,000, and there are absolutely no fees. You can even get your money as soon as the day you apply, which should be today. Take a look into it today. Lightstream believes that people with good credit deserve a better loan experience, and that's exactly what they deliver. And just for our listeners, if you apply now, you can get a special interest rate discount on top of their great rates and save even more. The only way to get this discount is to go to lightstream.com/factor. That's LIGHTSTREAM.com/factor. It is subject to credit approval. Rate transfer 4.9% APR to 19.9% APR and included 0.5% auto pay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/factor for more information. And look, a lot happened over the weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that means all around the world.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Yeah. We've got a handyman inventor. We've got a couple of stories about things falling from the sky. One ends well, one does not. And cars being stolen by a Game Boy. What? So first up, 72-year-old Bosnian man, Vojan Cusick, here he is, got sick of his wife's complaints. So he did something about it. He didn't kill her.
Vojan?
Don't go there, guys. Vojan. His wife was always on Vojan to make home improvements to their home that sits on a plain in northern Bosnia near the town of Srbeć. And I guess she's like a bit bored out there in the countryside. As Vojan had this to say about her. I've got tired of her complaints and frequent refurbishing of our family house requests, and I said, I'll build you a rotating house so you can spin in it and do as you wish. So that's exactly what he did. Luckily, he's an inventor and a genius, so he built a rotating system for the house that you can speed up or slow down on like this wheel and pulley system, or like rotating system, where you can make the rotation go 360 degrees in as quick as 22 seconds or as slow as 24 hours, up to you.
The whole house.
So that his wife can sit in her chair and see farmlands change to forest, change to a river without ever having to get up. Here's the picture of the house, and here's the picture of the wheel system he built on it, and the motherfucker just rotates around now, out in the plains. Yeah.
That's insane.
Imagine if this inventor wasn't plagued by a naggy wife, we might have a cure for cancer. But instead, a house that rotates. I hope she's happy.
Point.
She's selfish, but I hope my wife doesn't hear the story, because I'm definitely not able to build anything near rotating house level stuff. What an asshole this guy is, right? By the way,
he's making everybody look so bad.
Yeah, he built a rotating house. Like, I can't, like,
well,
what?
To shut her up.
Well, but no, I mean, to keep her like Vojan is people get mad at guys that like show up to dinner with roses. Vojan is the worst version of that.
I was going to say, Will, I've got like flowers in my repertoire, and that's about it. He built a rotating house. By the way, it took him 6 years to complete the project, and he nearly died of a heart attack towards the end. He told the doctors, do whatever you have to do to prolong my life at least 1 year, as I need to finish this house project I'm working on, and no one else has the skills to complete it. So he's like dying, and he's like, just put a stint in. Like, I need 1 more year. He's fine now. The house is complete. His wife did not comment on the house when asked. She's probably pretty sick of her husband talking about it for the 6 years he worked on it, the 3 years he planned it, and now every day when he yells, you see, it's the river now. Are you happy?
She'll never be happy.
Yeah.
Do you think it was one fight that he just took way too far?
Yes.
Like she didn't even care by the time.
No.
By the time he created the wheel, like she was totally over it and didn't give a fuck. But
We're out in the
he still
plains.
created
We're out in
it.
the plains, and I'm bored, and I have to get up all the way and walk over here if I want. I'll make the house rotate
Right.
then.
Fine. You
For
want me to
3
watch the
years,
game?
She'd been like, I don't need the rotation. He's like, no, you're gonna get the rotation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want me to watch the game, don't you? That's what I'll do. Then I'll just sit here and watch the game so you can have what you want.
Pretty sure she was hoping the heart attack was a little more successful. All right. And as promised, let's talk about a few objects falling. Sadly, a Russian theater performer was killed at the world-famous Bolshoi Theater from a falling set piece. It's a pretty beautiful theater. It's world-renowned. Not how you expect things to go, right, when you're doing theater. You're just worried about hitting your lines and maybe your choreography if you're a dancer, and then maybe concerned about the reviews after the fact. But you never expect to be crushed to death by a set piece like the coach in dodgeball with the sign. That's not something
Maybe
plan on happening.
Maybe he said Macbeth.
Yeah, could be. It's a tragedy for sure, Pat. Apparently, actor Yevgeny Kulesh exited the stage at the wrong direction, and a ramp was lowered on top of him, trapping him and killing him. They just lowered a heavy ass ramp and killed him. It was a shocking scene with his fellow performers begging for the ramp to be lifted off Yevgeny, and then there were failed attempts to revive him. Some of the people were like screaming there's blood. The people in the stand and the audience thought it was an act. They thought it was part of the show, and then an announcement came over the speakers saying, please leave the theater now, because the guy was dead. So not good at all. R.I.P. Yevgeny. Very sad stuff. Even sadder is this is not the first death of a performer at this theater. In July 2013,
Of course not. I mean,
no, not at the Bolshoi Theater. A senior violinist, Viktor Sedov, died after he fell into the orchestra pit. So he just walked on the stage, took a step forward and dropped into the orchestra pit, and I guess fell on his head and died.
Oh man. Big question is, why are there spikes in the orchestra pit?
Right? He landed on a violin stick or something. In related news, the Bolshoi Theater director has announced their next performance will be The Phantom of the Opera.
Right. They don't need to cast the lead role, you know what I mean?
They got a couple options.
It's built in.
Hey. And it's going to stay that way. It's just going to be The Phantom of the Opera.
No, there needs to be a safe word in theater, just like sex.
Ramp coming down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
well, no, I mean, I was gonna say it's tough, but if you love the theater, it's a precision game.
It is.
And Yevgeny going off on the wrong side of the stage, there's a lot of moving parts in a play.
All the sandbags and stuff. I mean, if you want the set to look good, the set's heavy. So, and they got to move and they got to operate it and set it up in 10 seconds. So
right,
it goes
for perfection.
But they're saying allegedly that he went off the stage. It also could have been someone lowered it in the wrong part. He died.
Let's
not. We don't know.
Start blaming the stagehands.
Well, you want to blame the dead guy?
It's pornography, live theater.
You got to blame someone, right?
Action films in that order of danger.
Yeah, pornography.
Yeah, that's dangerous for sure.
That is dangerous. That is. All right, let's move on to the good news falling object story. So in a string of events that will make many think of Jake Gyllenhaal's breakout movie Donnie Darko, a woman in British Columbia is very lucky to be alive. Golden resident Ruth Hamilton heard a loud crash in her home as others in the area were witnessing a light show over the lake in the sky on the evening of October 4th. And Hamilton woke up to a loud bang saying, I was shaking and scared when it happened. I thought someone had jumped in or it was a gun or something. And then she turned on the light and noticed there was a hole in her roof and a rock that had landed on her pillow and bounced onto her bed, at the chest area of the pillow she normally slept on. But she was, I guess, sleeping on the other side of the bed miraculously. So that was pretty lucky because the rock went through the roof and would have hit her directly in the head. She saw the rock and then thought it must be from that damn construction company that's nearby. So she called the cops and blamed it on the construction company. But when police arrived, they contacted the construction company who said, we're not working tonight. And then they quickly found out that the light show was a meteor shower, and a meteorite had crashed in through her roof and would have killed her had she been sleeping where she normally sleeps.
Damn. So she's that out of touch where she had like no fucking idea what's going on. She's just
Yeah.
like, it's a damn construction.
Well, hold
site."
on.
with their beautiful molten lava locks
Right. I'd make
that
an
are on
argument
fire and made of materials I've never seen.
we're all that out of touch. No, and God, by the way, God almost never messes up. So like she should watch her back because he's
Yes.
coming for her. What
Final
is that?
Destination style.
That's got to be worth something, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you'd think,
well,
like
it's-
she would look up and see like meteor shower because surely the town knew that there was a meteor shower that night.
She was asleep because she's lonely, busybody, old lady. She went to sleep.
You look at the local
and-
news. You got to
And
figure.
Pat,
out
I would imagine since the rocks, allegedly, or most meteors are millions and millions of years old, that it's worth something. But she's not giving up the rock or giving it to a museum just yet. She said she's going to keep it for a while because her grandkids think it's cool. So
Yeah,
there
of
you go.
course.
I mean, it's got to have like some sick metals and shit in it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you're-
Someone might rob her soon.
If
Yeah.
you're her, you're definitely telling your grandkids that now they're superheroes as long as they keep the meteor around, right?
Right?
Like,
Remember that movie Meteor Man? Isn't that how he became a superhero? Like a meteor landed on him or
all
something?
time, you're the coolest grandma now
Yeah.
because you have the superhero meteor. Yeah.
Oh, that movie sucked. But
Hey, that was from Baltimore, Maryland. That was our local movie back in the day,
was
Pat.
it a Wayne's was in that, or was it a David Allen Greer? I don't know.
Blink Man.
Neither was the star of that, but there was a local kid that went to Sterling Elementary School that was the son. That was a big deal in our
Oh,
neighborhood.
wow.
He'd tell you
Yeah.
about it too. No, I mean, how could a meteorite not be the most valuable thing on Earth? I mean, it's like literally
Because it could have
not
shit.
from the Earth.
Someone's
have
gonna
shit
steal
metals,
it.
though.
Someone's gonna steal it. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think they're all pretty like expensive, like especially a nice like big one like that. But
Right.
but it could have like what if it's like made of lead? You know, there's like
Yeah, it's like
there's already
digging
so
into the
much
side
lead.
of a mountain. You could find good stuff, or you could
Right.
find really not.
It
Great
could be
stuff.
pure gold, and then it would
Yeah.
be sick as shit, and you'd be able to pay for everything. But then it's also probably just not. It's probably just some crap, you know.
Yeah, we'd have to. Maybe we can get someone on the show to explain meteors to us.
I know that there's.
some nerd.
I want to check out. I'll figure it out. But I saw this documentary about the heaviest piece of matter on Earth is a meteorite, and it's like it
Sounds
looks,
like you could.
It looks
what?
like you could pick it up, but you cannot pick it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
that's
kinda
interesting. That's probably valuable. It sounds like if you go to these places, 'cause we've done a few stories, like British Columbia in particular, like you could probably like treasure hunt for meteors. They usually like break up in the sky, but I think I have a picture of here it is. This is how big it was. It's like,
It's pretty
cinder
big.
block style. Yeah. See, that's the hole in the roof. I mean, yeah. So you imagine that if that's precious metals, probably worth, I don't know, like a couple $100,000 maybe if it's like unique to space.
She's really lucky she wasn't sleeping there. That thing would have just crushed her.
She would have been dead. And they wouldn't have been. It would have been closed casket. Yeah, so she's lucky. And a bonus dog TikTok for you today, since Wes is out. We have a few extra minutes to kill. Let's head over to the UK. If you see a group of swarmy-looking Brits smiling around a parking lot with one holding a giant Game Boy like it's 1990, then you're right to think something's not right here. That's because a trio of car thieves have been jailed by Leeds Crown Court, MOT Leeds United, and they have been jailed for creative grand theft auto. The hooligans managed to steal 5 Mitsubishi Outlanders. They really had a hard-on for Outlanders, using an expensive high-tech handheld device that they doctored up to look like a Game Boy seen here. See, they were like, that clearly looks like a Game Boy. They put the buttons on it. But it's what's in the middle there that's important. It's not a Game Boy. No one was playing Kirby's Dream Land, as the device actually was designed to steal cars by mirroring the short-range frequency of key fobs, fooling cars into thinking that it was the key. So it's like all the
reason they
push-to-start cars.
Yeah.
Yes,
They hit the same car because that one's the most susceptible to their tool.
I guess so. Yeah, that tool was triggered for Mitsubishi Outlanders.
Yeah.
So Mr. Mitsubishi, you might want to get on it.
You might want to, make your fucking fobs a little bit harder to hack, huh?
Yes.
Game Boy guys are crushing you.
They are. The thieves, who all pleaded guilty, got caught when people saw them stealing a car from a driveway. So they got greedy. Like, they didn't get caught. They got caught because they went to someone's house and like made noise outside and just stole the car. And so
Well, they're pretty like JV version of
Yes.
Game Boy thieves because they can only hit this one car.
they should have gone
So
to
they're
parking
like-
lots though. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, like they should have yeah, exactly.
If they were really good, they could be hitting all kinds of cars.
They got
Different
caught because they're
models
like
and shit.
smoking cigarettes and making noise outside someone's home. So they called the cops
loitering
on them.
around every Mitsubishi Outlander in the city.
and they got caught, right? And the cops pulled them over, and they're like, "What the fuck?" And then when they found the thieves like home, they searched their home and they searched their personal car, and inside their personal car, in a secret compartment they built, they found that Game Boy device, which is estimated to cost £20,000, pretty expensive, and it just works as this an awesome car stealing tool that it works in seconds. They even filmed themselves stealing cars in seconds, laughing about how easy and quick it was to steal a car, mocking the car owners, saying things like, "This is like having an extra dick, isn't it now?" So they got caught red-handed on camera and with the device and everything, and explaining the device.
Their dick, or
just like just if you had an extra dick.
It's like, Pat, they're having sex with these cars.
Right, exactly.
It's
like
it's
world's a lot
cars.
easier if you have this key fob thing, or if you had two dicks, life would be pretty easy too. That's what they're getting at, I think. Yeah. But anyways,
over my head.
Inside those interiors.
it's not good news that that device exists, is it? It's not great. Not great.
It's not. I would have never heard them coming, too. I could be standing right next to my Mitsubishi Outlander, and they could totally steal my car because I always have my Raycon wireless earbuds in. So, and these things drown out the sound. Hey, it took me a long time to get on the wireless earbud train. Like, forever, I was like, no, I'm a wired guy. I keep it wired. Now that I have my Raycons, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking?
Unleash the beast. Yeah.
It's the true ultimate hands-free situation. I got them in all day, making phone calls on them. I keep one in while I'm going to sleep, listening to pods. That's my pod time. And they're awesome. They're fantastic. They have a really clear quality. I remember when I was getting the headphone game out, like moving on from Apple because their shit's too expensive. I was like, where am I going to go? Everyone's got these other headphones, and I don't know which ones to choose. Thank God Raycon became a partner of the show because I've kind of figured it out. These guys know what they're doing. And the new everyday earbud look, feel, and sound. The new everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound way better than ever. So they have an improved rubber oil look and feel. These things are amazing. They're like pretty heavy. You could tell that some smart design and engineering went into them. They have some heft, and they have optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit. These are impressive even before you start listening. And you get 3 sound profiles. This is pretty cool. So you can get pure mode, which is what I use for pods at night. Or if you're a music guy or gal, you can listen to blues, instrumental on there. Balance mode is more for like rock and heavy metal. And then the bass mode, of course, that's for Friday and Saturday night when I throw in the hip-hop, EDM, reggae, etc.
Oh, yeah.
But
having a pair of Raycons is like having an extra dick.
Yeah, no, I still don't get it, but I can see how you could apply it.
See?
I see the transitive property from
Makes
the
life
earlier
pretty easy.
analogy.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, guys. I've gotten the opportunity to be in a lot of cool studios in my life, and I have understood from people that know a lot more than me that not all music is equal in terms of the speaker that it's played through, and having a specific listening profile can really enhance the tunes. Just because a mixer mixes it one way, and you might be listening to it with different settings, but Raycon's kind of taking care of that with the sound profile. So it's really, really cool. And there's an awareness mode, too. So when you need to listen to your surroundings, like when someone's stealing your car, bam, awareness mode, it wouldn't happen to me. 8 hours of playtime, 32 hours of battery life. There's a built-in mic, of course. You can take a call. And they're half the price of all those other premium audio brands. So here's what you guys want to do, guys. If you want to get down in on these Raycons, Hard Factor listeners can get 15% off their order at buyraycon.com/hardfactor. That's buyraycon.com/hardfactor. Save 15% on Raycons. Buyraycon.com/hardfactor.
Do it. Hey, real quick, an update from a game that was ending while we started this recording. The Chargers came back and beat the Browns 47-42 in what must have been just a fucking awesome ending.
Well, we picked the Chargers, so we're just an electric machine of hot picks and
more good picks by us. I picked the over too. That was so I mean, just
whoa.
Next week, millionaires split 20 ways. Guys, there's a lot happening in fast food chicken, and I think it's important that I keep the Hardo Hive up to date. Right?
Do we have it? Do we have fast food chicken now? Because it was like, the chicken
right,
wings,
the chicken shortage.
and the chicken shortage. Are we able to eat chicken again?
We've always had chicken,
Okay.
and I never stopped. Did you guys? You seriously stopped?
Actually, I've been kind of doing mostly pescatarian recently. It's been great.
I
Dad
did
know about that.
He'd be very disappointed if he did.
I wouldn't tell mine.
I did get affected by the chicken shortage. Pluckers charges a lot more money for chicken wings, and they let you know why.
Really?
Yeah.
We're gonna. That's
All
actually
right.
interesting, and that kind of plays into one of the chicken fast food updates I have here. So hold that thought. But
Okay.
let's first talk about the Baton Rouge-based chicken giant Raising Cains. Will and I had lots of magical evenings throughout college, drunkenly stumbling over to the flagship Raising Cains
You got to.
over there on Dalrymple, maybe it was. I forget what road it was on.
Something real
But it
real
was
close to
sweet, and it
campus.
was the original one. You'd walk down there, you'd be like, "Let me get a Caniac combo with extra cane sauce." It comes with some Texas toast. It's the first time I ever heard of that. Crinkle cut fries. I would do a commercial for Raising Cane's because I'm a big fan of their food. And guys, they are struggling right with the fast food labor shortage. that we've
Highland
talked about.
Road. Next to
Highland
the
Road.
Chimes.
Yep, the
What
fast
did
food
you
labor
think it was
shortage.
called? Stink Wrinkle?
Dalrymple.
Dalrymple.
I think it's close to that area. Yeah.
Stink Crinkle. Yep, that was it.
Stink crinkle.
On Stink Crinkle Drive. Grand opening. But yeah, guys, fast food has been really having a hard time keeping workers. You know, they're just having a tough time. The times they are changing. It's a labor shortage, and Raising Cane's is dealing with it in a unique way. They are asking, aka forcing, their corporate employees to work the fryers and cash registers at their store locations.
What? The corporate
that-
people?
Yeah, I mean, so they're like corporate people. Fucking make your money for us once in a while. Go out and get it done.
Kind
Interesting.
of. I think it's a bit of that. There's definitely a bit of like good PR to try to solve the problem here, but I think that there is actually truly a problem, and these
Yeah.
people are getting sent
Yeah.
to chicken shops for 2 weeks at a time.
No,
That's wild.
Raising Cane's corporate's like, look, you're either Cane's or you're not. You're either gonna go to this fucking podunk Raising Cane's and sling some chicken, or you're gonna get the fuck out of this office.
That's right. It was like the executive at the burger place who had to show up himself, and he was like, "Well, we talking about a finger here?
Right.
You're gonna complain about a
Forget
finger?
that guy's name.
Yeah,
For Culver's.
yeah.
Put some
You're either
put,
Culver's or you're not.
put some cane sauce in it and you walk it off. Yeah, the privately held Baton Rouge, Louisiana-based company has a total of 750 corporate employees, 500 of which are based in their Dallas office. And of those 500, 250 are going in the field to work the front lines. Another 250 who work as marketers and trainers will shift to the restaurant and recruiting jobs. So essentially all 500 are going out in the field to try to solve this problem. 250 of them, whoever drew the short straw, are actually going to be, frying the chicken and taking the money and giving the change and filling the drinks and
That's awesome.
doing shit they never thought that they'd had to do. Even though Cains does have like a, day on the job training program if you're going to work there, they're one of those companies, but you never thought that you're going to be spending 2 weeks in I don't know, man, Waco, Texas at a
No,
Raising
that's great.
Cane's.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it when corporate people have to get out of their comfortable office and go mix it up in the field. That's one of my favorite things to happen in a corporation.
I do love it
honestly.
too. It's pretty
It's
cool.
fun. Yeah, it's funny.
And people are going to get laid because that's what happens whenever work
for
goes
sure.
on the road.
Unfortunately, probably too many of that's going to be cheating, but that's just the price of business. So
Yeah. So that's really when you want to be on the lookout when your husband or your wife are getting sent to a corporate hotel.
oh
for
yeah,
a
talk about
period of-
the corporate getaway each year.
Mm.
You don't want that's when you really
If-
got to have your feelers out there. You got to be aware.
If
what's
your
going on.
corporate husband or wife isn't complaining about the field assignment, then a red flag. How about
No.
it's not that bad,
Right. Well, no, I felt like,
because they're
Got
getting
some cool
laid.
people.
Yeah, that's
or if they're complaining too much.
over at
That's-
Stink Wrinkle. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's a great location.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stink Wrinkle. I meant Dalrymple. Guys, Cains is looking to hire 10,000 more people in 50 days and will invest $70 million into workers' wages, with hourly workers receiving a 15 to 22% wage increase over the next few
Nice.
weeks. So now is the time to go work at Cains. All right, guys.
Damn,
Hell yeah.
free tenders, bro.
Also, yeah, you need the food and the
Free
sauce
tenders.
Oh, all the slaw.
and the pay. Good for Canes. Raise the rates up there.
Raising Cains, raising rates. Let's take it over to the McDonald's of fast food chicken restaurants, Chick-Fil-A. There is a class action lawsuit coming for the Pious Pluckers, boys. Lead plaintiffs Susan Ukperi of the Bronx and Anisha Pittman of Newark, New Jersey,
You
alleged
can tell
that-
Susan Ukperi means business.
yeah,
just with
oh,
that name.
Susan Ukperi.
Susan
Yeah.
Luke Perry.
Yep, Susan Luke Perry. Yeah, she's of Bronx, and Anisha Pittman of Newark, New Jersey. They're alleging that the chicken chain Chick-fil-A is defrauding their customers from their delivery prices, right? Saying that, hey, the chicken costs this, and then if you order it for delivery, they're putting a 25 to 30% markup, despite advertising that customers only need to pay a $2.99 or $3.99 delivery fee. This is according to a September 28th Manhattan court filing. The suit contends that I guess an identical order of a 30-count chicken nuggets, and that's incorrect, guys. At Chick-fil-A, it's a pack. They call it a 30-pack.
Right.
But an identical.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was my first job. The suit contends that an identical order of a 30-pack chicken nuggets costs approximately $5 to $6 more when ordered for delivery than when ordered via the same mobile app for pickup or when ordered in
just
store.
Just the item.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, they're disguising that not under a service fee or delivery fee or tip. It's just magically the item goes up.
Exactly. And
Okay.
Pittman and Luke Perry allege that Chick-fil-A is guilty of breach of contract and unjust enrichment, which is in violation of New York's general business law regarding deceptive acts or practices in the New Jersey Consumer Fraud Act. And guys, I'm all about slapping these pious bastards and trying to take them down a peg because they're let's be honest, no one wants to eat at Chick-fil-A, but you do because it's so damn good. But you know they're judging you when you're in there. But I always wonder when people bring a class action lawsuit, like these cats are just hunting for this, right? Like,
well, also this is the easiest one to sidestep ever because you could just say, yeah, we have a delivery menu and we have an in-house menu. Sorry.
Yep.
I just always wonder how
done.
it gets here.
Yeah,
Like,
this
a
is the
class
30-pack
action.
delivery. See, that's a 30-pack. This is 30-pack delivery.
That's a class action stiff arm. Boom.
Yeah.
Delivery menu. Get out of
And
here.
and I'm with you, Pat. But yeah, I mean, and also they're just, it doesn't matter. They're too delicious. But everyone's doing this. Like I said, like the great chicken shortage is the great chicken scheme where the chicken
It
restaurants
is.
are just ripping people off.
They're driving
left
the
and
price
right.
up.
They're driving
It's-
the price up. If you
they're
want
acting
chicken
the-
wings, it's like 50 to 75% more per wing. And they're like, oh, there's a shortage. Whether there is or not, you don't know, but the price has gone way
It's
up.
like the
And then
oil
a
industry.
sentence says because there's a chicken shortage. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. It's like exactly like the oil industry. The price of gas.
False flag.
It's like having two dicks.
It's the opposite. It's like having, it's like if you had two dicks and they took one away.
It's
like
like the oil
Chopping
industry
half your dick
in the
off.
way that
Yeah, it's like
having
chopping
two
half your
dicks
dick.
is
Yeah.
a way to describe stealing cars.
The chicken restaurateurs are having two dicks on us.
All right,
Two
well,
dick
guys,
having motherfuckers.
let's move on from these double dick chicken pricks and talk about 31-year-old Hudson Hamrick of Charlotte, North Carolina. And Hudson had a pretty good little Amazon scam cooking for the past 5 years or so. Hudson would he'd buy expensive items from Amazon, and then he'd mail back cheaper or broken items to Amazon as returns. For example, back in August 2019, Hudson ordered an Apple iMac Pro, which retailed at $4,256. And after about 2 weeks, he started the return process with Amazon. They issued him a refund, and instead of actually returning the iMac, he sold it and returned a much older, less valuable non-Pro model with a
Whoa.
completely different serial number.
Ballsy.
Yeah, so sick profits, sick gains. Maybe he paid $300 for the broken one, right? So that turns his $4,200 into like a $3,900 profit, and then he doubles that because he sold it, let's say, for $2,500 on the black market. So pretty good little day for the guy.
He got to keep the Pro and no, because he sold it. So like no, he just
No, he
made,
sold the Pro
He's
for
getting everything off
$2,500.
his hands, but he's
Yeah.
making a shitload.
so he
in
made
the
like $3
process.
grand probably.
Pretty
Yeah.
sick.
So did they catch him immediately? Like on the first?
No. Hudson's too slick for that. Hudson would also return things like a Jura Giga W3 professional coffee machine. That's a $3,500 piece. An Asus Rogue Zephyrus gaming laptop, $2,700. A Fuji spray system, which I had to look up, was a something you would paint your house with, like a spray paint, like pro
Very
painter.
cool. I like to watch videos of that. Relaxing, probably. Mhm.
$1,200. Each time he'd return a lower item in value, right? or
Wow.
older
So
model.
was he rotating accounts too? Like it had to be from different accounts. Right?
Doesn't say much. We're gonna have to find out soon. This is just an emerging story, but I do bet that Hudson wishes he ordered a crystal
this is
ball on
pretty smart.
Amazon to tell them that I don't know, the FBI was closing in on him, and his scam was flying a little bit too close to the sun because they were, and he was. And last week, Hudson pled guilty to wire fraud for his scheme. He did this 300 times.
300, yeah. See, that's too hot. Like, especially if he wasn't varying up with like 300 separate accounts that he did this with. You're gonna get caught.
Yeah,
He got
Hudson
too
netted
cocky.
$290,000 in 5 years. So this happened to me when I ordered an electronic item from Amazon, and then my neighbor took it. And I was pretty sure my neighbor had taken it because the Amazon driver was like, nope, definitely dropped it off. Or, oh, I gave it to someone in the lobby is what they said. And then what do you do when that happens? The neighbor has it in their house. I waited the 7 days. They make you wait 7 days. Go back to Amazon. I'm like, Amazon, sorry, dude, I didn't get it. Like, give me a new one.
That's the only thing you can do.
Send me a new one.
Yeah.
2 months later, shows up in the mailroom because that neighbor finally decided to put it in the mailroom.
Yeah, well, there you go. You got both. You got to keep, and a little inside baseball, Pat.
But that wasn't fraud. That was just a situation.
exactly.
That was just a happy accident.
Like I've said before, Amazon. I worked for Whole Foods. They bought Whole Foods on like a surplus amount of money that they were going to lose if they didn't spend it. So they just bought Whole Foods for $8 billion or something like that one year. They're like, oh, we got $8 billion extra in the budget. If we don't use it, we lose it. They bought Whole Foods. They played at such a different level, and Whole Foods is a big grocery store that like Whole Foods is like trying to account for down to like tens of thousands of dollars, and Amazon's like, if it's not in the millions, we don't fucking care. Just write it off. Like we don't give a shit about millions of dollars of loss because we're so big. And they have an algorithm where their philosophy, at least it was when I worked there, so it's just like absolutely refund everything that the customer asks for 100%. Don't even really ask questions. If you note it on their record, and if they do it like 3 times in a year, then you start asking questions.
Right, and that's what
basically everyone gets 3 a year where they don't give a fuck what it is.
This guy exposed the vulnerability of that policy, but at the same time, this is the way that Amazon wants to handle it. They're going to be. He
should have been flagged because he did it too often.
Right, but they did flag him, and then eventually it becomes a big like headline case where people are talking about it. He's getting fucked up by the FBI. This is how Amazon wants it to go. This is what they have envisioned for their fraud prevention, basically.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, dude. I mean, he did it 300 times over the course of 60 months. That's 5 times a month.
Yeah, but they're like,
look.
They're like, look, the customers are always right, and if we get one of these guys once in a while who's fucking us over, it's worth it for us in the end because we're still hooking up all of our other customers. It's their philosophy. It's the way they're doing it.
They're too big, and they're so big that this plan works when you can defraud them of some money. Not as much as this guy did, but anyone can defraud them.
If somebody was more cautious, I'm sure that they could actually get away with this on a large scale.
Every year you can get a couple free items from them if you want.
Well, guys, Hudson's facing the wire fraud charge, which carries a maximum prison sentence of 20 years and a $250,000 fine, which I'm sure he'll have to pay. Let's take it to the internet real quick, guys. Here's my comment. My guy, Shafiq Mohammed Golo, says, making extra salary every month from home, more than $15K, just by doing simple copy and paste like online job. And it continues.
Nice, yeah. He knows about this scheme.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I guess the word like con and fraud tripped the scammers. So then all the
bots.
The bots are commenting on the local news stories with like the opportunity to make $15K a month from home.
Yeah. Just DM me if you want more information.
Well, no, that's not that, Mark. What you need to do is you need to post www.work56.com and then take away anyway, we'll get into it.
Oh, okay.
DM me if you're interested.
Yes.
That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Have a great fucking day.